and take it, we bout to build it. They leaving it vacant, I just go harder, harder. I am unbothered, I gotta get it, I am so with it. I will go get it, that is the difference. I am not waiting, I am not faking. Everything out here, that's for the taking. My mind too right, my grind too tight. This head rhyme too nice, this my world, my life. One shot, who me? Take that, movie. One shot, movie. That's all you need. One shot, who me? Take that, movie. One shot, movie. That's all you need.
One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot, you only get one shot. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot, you only get one shot. One shot. You only get one shot. You only get one shot. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot.
At my Brooklyn, go see Chirac, Southside, C12, 911, grr to the reality, we still outside. Mine on the richest, heart in the trenches. You can't throw dirt on the underground, we thrive in it. Ghana boys stocks on the rise, Charlie, this flex know they ready. See, we not the ride nobody wave, we the ones who started with it. Translation, Yanni had to buy, Yanni at Yanni hits. This goes so hard, even the ops go with it, That's how you know we lit. Grr,
trust, been taking no loss. We be the hottest on the scene. Gemstones from the dust. Big dog with leash. Where's the love in the streets? Pour my heart on the beat. See that blood on my sheets. Yeah, when me ready, me hit it heavy. I zoom out the pride of my people already. Them I see Ellie. Me, I'm just sharing my journey. I'm thankful the people they hear me. Tribe of Joseph, I'm ahead of the bunch. P5, I was starving for months. A running cut in, but on my pockets, me need my DNA. Baby for lunch, but call me a star before BBC. Don't take a lot to get rid of me. Me and them don't get the same. Me and them don't get the same. Boy, that they gonna know the name is. They say I move like I'm nameless. Cause I only come for the money bags and I don't really wanna be famous. Man. You know what's up? You know what's up? You pretend, you gonna lie, you gonna be gang. You know what's up?
Crazy, we going crazy, we at the top and we never gonna stop. Hop in a ghost, I'ma get swayzy. I just got off with a jet and I cry. I win in a Humvee, I lie. I be on go cause I come from the shot. I'm shooting back, I ain't ducking no shots. Got power like Samson, I cut off the locks. Chirac, Timmer, in the cut like I'm Fredo Santana. Buju Banton, I hop in the Bama, the world is mine. I'm Tony Montana, I'm Pelican Fly. Diamonds on me cause I'm rapping a rock. I'ma go hard, I ain't killing them soft. I'm up in the hills, I feel like I'm Lauren, you ready or not? I like who got businesses, I'm CEO of mine. 1980 Prezi Rolly, we been working overtime. The witness, the police, the pigs, I don't eat swine. Son of Jacob, this biblical, my flow, the holy God. Save money ground up in the gutter where they found us. Stones in the faint mouth rush. More vacays, more bucks, more race, more foreign trucks, more on a tour bus, more pour cup. Toast to the winners, throw it up.
Juicy, what a drums at?
I've been doing my thing, they not ready for me. Y'all been playing with me, no time for the silly games. Damn, it really must be so intimidating, but I gotta be great, that's the God up in me. Whoa, yeah. Hold me, they cannot hold me, yeah. Slowly, ain't no more taking it slowly, yeah. Holy, you're dealing with something that's holy, yeah. Hold me, I need somebody to hold me. I'm still cooking out the basement, and this game needs some saving, and I'm ready for the action, cause I'm tired of the acting. What happened to being great? What happened to being fashionably late? What happened to rocking shows? What happened to spin flows? Been wearing the cons and the pros, feel like I'm the only pro. If we gon' go, then go, we could take it toe to toe. I've been doing everything you've been doing, but I'm really doing more. I'm about to explode.
Madden football is the home of Super Bowl 57, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Minnesota Vikings and the Denver Broncos. All that and more coming up next.
Kenny Nwagu now out of it. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Well, obviously you never want to fumble, but if you do, good to be towards the sideline and saves them a possession.
Saves the embarrassment, saves it going down on the play sheet as a turnover. But I still think it should go to the defense, even if they don't recover it. If you give up the football, you gave up the football.
Agree to disagree, I guess.
Can you tell what I played?
Yeah, you played defense.
Yeah.
I'll let you go.
I took a shot.
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That time, Bradley Chubb shooting in there for the sack. Well, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely, because remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. Cousins now. The ball comes out.
Let's face it, everybody at the start of a game has a mental image of how they expect it to go, and I think that was going exactly as they scripted it offensively. Moving the ball well, seemingly in control, and that fumble, that's got to be a little bit deflating, don't you think?
Yeah, foiled the whole plan there, turned the ball over. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. Here's Russell Wilson, 11th season in the league. First, of course, with Denver after a high-profile trade this offseason that saw him dealt from Seattle. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos. At their own 27. They'll run with a 29-year-old Melvin Gordon. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way home for a Broncos score. CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, and this is one of the best runs you'll see. A lot of times on these long touchdowns, you'll see he gets into the end zone untouched, but not here. He fought his way through contact, and it barely even registered, and he just continued down the field all the way to the end zone. And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Cousins. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. CD, that's the 2nd time this half they put it on the carpet. Now, the first one they lost. Good news here, it doesn't cost them.
They do say that things even out in the course of a ball game. So you mentioned they lost the first one. This time, able to retain possession, but they can't get into this habit. The ball can't continue to go on the ground.
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. Taken from just outside the 30. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll start on the ground. And the ball is knocked out. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having 2 hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. And this one too low.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and that will keep this a 4-point game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos. On their side of midfield at the 47. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter. Play action. It's Wilson. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. When I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Following the interception, Cousins. Oh, and he'll just get rid of this one deep. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen 1 touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
And off his back foot, he'll heave this one deep. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I like what they did there because many of the deep throws we see in the course of a game come to the outside, the perimeter of the field. In this case, they used a slot receiver to run deep downfield and tried to connect that way. Unsuccessful in that attempt, but I like what they were doing.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. The run on 3rd and long, so I guess waving the white flag a little bit.
Yeah, and I think sometimes teams are so committed to running the football that they'll take a chance, even in a long yardage situation, to let them know on the other side, this is what we're going to be about today. In this case, they didn't get a 1st down, but if you're thinking along with them, hey, they might be committed to running it all game long.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the 1st half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's 1 interception, we're still in the 1st half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down. The play fake. Here's Wilson. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he is out of bounds but not before he's inside the 30. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And he is going to lose yardage here. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now.
As a linebacker, you're taught to stay just slightly behind the ball carrier just in case he makes a cutback. But when you find the gap, shoot it. And he found it all right. Took it straight into the backfield and made the tackle for a loss.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. This Minnesota D up to the task on the third down pass play. Fourth down, Wilson trots off, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Denver field goal. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. The kick by McManus is good, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And the football going back to the Vikings offense. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Vikings on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Third down. Here's a run by Cook. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. Give him the third down conversion. 5 yards on the play.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on third down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They run it again with Cook. Oh, twisting away. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. Third down, Dalvin Cook. And almost, but not quite. Needed 10, he got 9. Fourth down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they followed them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
So on fourth down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson. This will be caught. Judy. The 30. 10. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Broncos continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Cousins now to throw on first down. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
Now Gordon on first down. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. The kick by McManus is good. And that will do it for this first half. So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Vikings in that first half. And even though they've got work to do on the scoreboard, their running game has been solid. Over 100 yards rushing in that first half. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, the rushing numbers tell a different story. They really couldn't get a whole lot going on the ground. And the evidence? The numbers.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. Fielded right around the 8. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. The Bronco offense ready to begin this third quarter play. And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue with that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. So plenty can still happen. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And they'll hold him to 3 there as he takes us up to the 47.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this third quarter. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Here's the sneak with Wilson. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys...
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. So certainly not at all what you're looking for here to start the third quarter. A fumble on their opening drive.
Not at all. You're exactly right about that, because this had a chance to be the drive to put everything away. A touchdown here, that might have put everything out of reach for them. They definitely handed out a lifeline to the defense on that play.
They go play action. Cousins. And his throw is incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Cousins. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Draw play. Cousins to Cook. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They lost 2, and it brings them forward.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And all the way home for a Broncos score. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Broncos are starting to open things up here in the Super Bowl. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is now 24. Those those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball.
And it's a fumble, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Second time he's fumbled in this game. Fortunate for him, this one goes out of bounds.
And the key for him now is how much equity have you built up with your coaching staff? How much equity have you built up with your team to continue to get opportunities? Fortunate that one went out of bounds, saved him from a turnover.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now Cousins. Over the middle, complete. That's Osborne. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, there's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
On the delayed handoff, this is Gordon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Wilson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Eric Kendricks coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler. There's some space here. Touchdown! Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Broncos are starting to pour it on the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. The partner, he has carried them in this ball game throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air, and that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been a result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
McManus's point after is good, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And out now come the Vikings. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short. play fake. Cousins. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
This is a rarity in the NFL, a 100-yard game on the ground for a quarterback. Even as those passers get more athletic and mobile, we only see about 5 of these a season. It takes a special set of circumstances for it to happen, and of course, a special player.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Cousins. Leaves him behind on the spin. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. The give to the fullback on the dive. Just one more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here in Super Bowl 57 from Glendale. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Folks, welcome back to the biggest stage in sports, the Super Bowl, and now we get down to the good stuff, the 4th and final quarter. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And he is going to pick up the Vikings' 1st down as they find a way to convert on 4th and 10. Throwing. Cousins. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Osborne. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Cousins to throw it. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the 1st down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that 1st down, but that's a nice job holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
Fourth down, Cousins. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery. But on 4th down, a change of possession anyway. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines, but they know that they are very close now to wrapping this thing up and letting the celebration begin. A Super Bowl title within reach now as they try to polish this thing off.
really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The offense on third down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. The handoff goes to Gordon, running left. And he will try, but he can't. He can't escape the end zone. Gordon is taken down, and it's a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations. In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. Those Super Bowl hopes that they had really dwindling now here in the 4th quarter. That NFC crown that they got 2 weeks ago seems like a distant memory as they have been outplayed tonight. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. And that's a loss of 7 on the 1st down play.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On the give, this is their fullback. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Once more, it's the fullback hand. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the 1st down. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now.
The end result was brute force on brute force, but think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead. And it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances. And that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Cook up the gut. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Cousins. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them.
Still 3rd down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Cousins. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. in the Super Bowl. You think about some of the big pick sixes over the history of this huge game. I remember, because I was watching with a lot of Colts fans, Tracy Porter picking Peyton Manning to get the Saints' first title.
Yeah, that would pretty much seal the deal for New Orleans as well. But I got to go back a ways because, you know, unfortunately, I'm considerably older. Herb Adderley, the Green Bay Packers, got it all started. The first pick six, Super Bowl II against the Oakland Raiders, and some of the better ones that were out there. You might remember Dwight Smith of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had 2 in one game when they won their Super Bowl championship against Rich Gannon in Oakland. You mentioned Tracy Porter already. How about James Harrison to the Steelers? You remember that one? 100 yards right before the half ended. That was a big-time play. But for me, the absolute classic, Willie Brown in slow motion against the Vikings.
And the third interception thrown by Cousins. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it could be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
And he'll try and throw here on the fake. Now a throw caught by one of their linemen. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back.
I'm just going to go ahead and call it, partner. You could smell the desperation in that fake, couldn't you? Down big. They had to try something. No one was fooled.
I think you're exactly right. With this deficit, though, go ahead and give it a shot. Didn't work out. In the end, I guess it doesn't hurt him too much. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 18. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now whistles and a timeout call here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. And here's Ryan Wright now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. Now a hit and a loose football. And that will write a finish to this ball game. And the Lombardi Trophy goes west. And it goes to the Denver Broncos, your Super Bowl champs. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they? That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.